What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy, Story Seller Jet, with another episode of the That's So Fire Talk Show. And today we have my great friend, Kate Dennis here in the house. Let's go. What's going on, Kate?
Hi, Jetro.
How's it going? Are you ready for this?
I'm so excited.
Awesome. Super excited today for the talk show. We are going to talk about how to get your first high-ticket client without paid ads. And Kate is exceptional about doing that, and she's been crushing it in the coaching industry. So first, Kate, how are you doing today?
I'm so excited. I love the dance party that we have before this.
Oh, yeah, always. This is also Kate's second time on the show, but today, obviously, this is the first time that we were going live together. So we're super excited because of all the value and the things that we're going to be discussing soon. So, Kate, why don't we do a quick introduction? Who's Kate Denise? And, take me back, from your real estate days into what you're doing right now.
Oy vey. Okay, the 30-second highlight is I spent 10 years in real estate investing, the retail brokerage side, sold over $300 million in real estate, all organically without paid ads.
Wow.
Which is wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah. And then we had some affiliate hub and spoke type of model going on. So we had like title company ownership, brokerage ownership, etc. And then I got into coaching for the last 3-ish years. And it's absolutely the most aligned thing that I've done in a long time.
That is fantastic. So that's a huge transition from doing so much volume in real estate. And I know that can be, that comes with a lot of other things that can get you burned out really quick. And now, what's that?
The most.
Yes. And now transitioning from doing all of that to coaching, that's a huge, I guess, like 180 degrees shift from being so successful at something and now starting something completely new.
Yeah.
What inspired you to make that transition?
I think it's so funny when people ask me that. They say that it's like such a big shift. I don't look at it like that at all. Maybe because internally when I was growing my real estate career, I always knew that that was not where I was going to end up. So maybe that's why it's not such a dramatic shift for me. I always knew that I wanted to coach. I just didn't know in what capacity. And as soon as I figured out something of value to exchange for money to somebody else, I immediately stopped real estate.
That's awesome. Can you talk to me a little bit about that journey from making that transition from real estate to coaching? What are some of the steps that you took from running your business, very successful real estate business, to now transitioning to doing coaching?
Yeah. The beginning is a little rough, I do have to say, but I started my offer organically, right? So I got my first client organically without any paid ads. I didn't even have a website. I didn't even know really what my offer was. Someone had come to me and said, hey, can you help me with my sales operations? And that's how my first offer started. So I was still running my real estate business and career and was doing 1 to 2. And then, as the coaching clients started to gain momentum, I slowly transitioned over the course of like a year and a half out of real estate.
Wow, incredible. But today we're going to be talking about how to gain clients organically without paid ads. And you did that very well when you were running your real estate business, growing it to $300,000. $300 million
in sales. Yeah,
$300 million without paid ads. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the things that you did to be able to be so successful with that in real estate?
Yeah. So 67% of my business was referral based. And so how do you scale and systematize that so it is sustainable? And I did it all through boring systems and processes in the CRM. So when you have a list of people that are interested in your offer, for example, how do you keep track of them? How do you nurture the relationship until they do become a client? And so setting some of those boring systems and processes up in the background, and then making sure that you're getting mind share in front of the correct people, in front of your avatar. So you do get that organic lead flow to your business.
Wow, incredible. So we talked about you getting your first client and how that was kind of different than any of the other coaches, how they approached you and doing all of that. So now that the business got started, what are some of the things that you put in place to make sure that you are growing accordingly to like where you are at today?
Okay, great question. So how I've gotten all of my clients in real estate and or coaching has been through referrals from sphere people, like people that already know, like, and trust me, current clients or past clients, other coaches, right? So you're a coach, but you don't coach what I coach, and so we'd build a relationship and exchange that. Social media is a huge one, right? Because you're able to gain mind share through people. I'll let your company do the strategic planning behind that. I just know you need to be in front of people. Social media is a very easy way to scale that way. And in-person events work very well for me. So if I could get into the right event, into the right room with my ideal avatar, I can close on a high ratio that way.
Awesome. By the way, one of the really cool things that I've really enjoyed seeing is when you're posting those pictures of the people that you're helping and the results that they are getting as well, which is so fantastic.
People love social proof. And it's hard because I do my coaching calls over the phone and or a very short video call once a week. So it's like, how do you get social proof other than them texting you great news, which I love, or payments? So that's what I use so far. I'm sure that'll adjust.
Awesome. How many clients have you grown your business to have right now, if you don't mind me asking?
We have 10 people currently in our core program, and then I have private clients separately that pay separately for private one-on-one coaching calls.
Awesome. So let's kind of delve a little bit on like some of the people that you are serving. What are some of the biggest challenges that you see right now that coaches, because you coach coaches, are currently facing?
I love this. It's so easy, right? So everyone thinks that they need to build out their course and they need to build out this website and they need to build out this CRM. And I don't even know what they think they need to build out. Modules and all of this content behind the scenes. When statistics show that most people don't watch the course or the content behind the scenes, they're really there for the proximity to you. So the easiest thing is to sell before building anything out, because once you get people in, you can then start to create the content in the background. So the biggest mistake that I see is people spending thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of dollars building out behind the scenes for nothing that's going to convert to cash.
Yeah. Do you help people with crafting their offers?
Yeah, of course. So most people that come in don't have any offer at all. They have never started a coaching business and they have an expertise in something, just so happens to be real estate investing. Yeah. Most of my clients, they come from real estate investing. So they're really good at flipping, or they're really good at commercial deals, or they're really good at raising private money or wholesaling. And they're looking to take that expertise and turn it into a different type of offer, right? We're leveraging lifestyle. Real estate's just so time consuming as opposed to the coaching world. They're looking for cash flow monthly. Real estate can be very inconsistent with cash flow, as we know. They're looking to be more fulfilled in what they're doing. Real estate can be very transactional. So anyway, my point is they're coming with nothing in the coaching experience space. So we are identifying their avatar, crafting their offer, and organically getting their first paid high-ticket client without spending any money on marketing.
Awesome. What is the number one advice that you would be giving to somebody that do not know what their offers look like?
They don't know what their offer looks like, or they don't know how to scale their company.
They do not know what their offers look like. And I'm kind of like, pushing that a little bit because you asked me a very pointed question that kind of changed the whole thing for me. And I want you to share that same advice that you've kind of given me when I was thinking about crafting a specific offer. Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm headed with that one. If you remember which I'm talking about.
Of course. So I'll answer it in two separate questions. The first question, What happens if you don't know what your first offer will be? The easiest thing to come up with your new offer is, what are you really good at? What have you made a lot of money in? How can we turn that into a tangible offer where you're now going to teach somebody else that? So, for example, one of my clients is really good at the burr strategy. He's never done coaching in his entire life, but he's really good at the burr strategy. He has a huge portfolio, etc. So we crafted his offer around teaching the burr strategy. And so it gets a little bit more in depth, but that's a way to craft your first offer. Very basic, and you're teaching the newbie from entry level.
Yeah.
And then to scale, one of your questions was,
yeah. So one of the things that was so fantastic, and you can expand on that for the people that are watching this. I think we were here probably like 6 months or however long that was, and we were standing all the way out front, and we were talking.
He knows exactly where we were.
Yeah, exactly on the front. And we were talking about the offers that I was crafting, and one of the questions that you asked me is, Jet, if I asked you to go over the past 5-6 months, where did you make the most amount of money? And that is your offer.
Yeah. So I have a second offer. So the first offer is getting started. But then the second offer is, a lot of people have been in business for 7, 10, 15 years that are clients, and they don't know how they got there, right? They have no systems in place, and they want to scale and they want to grow, but they don't have any foundational setups. So one of my first 2-3 questions to them is, where have you made the last 80% of your revenue in the last 3 to 5 months, depending on the business? So everybody thinks that they need to create this new offer. It's unlikely that you need to create a new offer if you want to scale. It's more so you honing in on your already proven track record of revenue, right? So where did you get the most revenue in the last couple of months? Line item down. If you have multiple offers, just line item them down, right? You made $20,000 here, you made $50,000 on this offer, you made $100,000 on this offer. Okay, so where are we going to spend most of our time? On the $100,000 offer, right?
Yep.
Where you made revenue from. It's just the 80-20 rule, right? Where are you spending the top 20% of your time that's going to yield you 80% of your results?
Fantastic. So now most of the people that come to you, they come just starting. They might have done some really great things that they want to transition to coaching. What is the growth roadmap look like for those people when they start working with you?
Yeah, we have a 90-day program, but everyone gets their major success in the first 8 weeks, which I'm super proud of. I literally think to myself in my sleep, how can I get my clients quicker results?
That's when you know that you're truly passionate about something, when you're dreaming about it. And that has happened to me several times over the past week about something specific that I'm working on. So
yeah, it's if you can get them the results quicker, then they'll build momentum, and then they'll be able to get to their goal quicker, and everyone's winning, right? They're staying with you longer. They're not going anywhere else. They're referring you, all the things.
That's awesome.
So 8 weeks, we're creating your offer. We're creating your ideal avatar. I mean, we're specific. People come to me with their homework, with their ideal avatar, and I'm like, this is not your ideal avatar. I'll give you an example. I'm going to talk about the burr strategy guy again.
Love it.
The client. He has been an entrepreneur his entire life. And he's been in the trades field, right? He had a construction business, an AC business. Then he went to burr flipping houses, refining houses out. And the point is, he's always been an entrepreneur. Your ideal avatar is who you were 3 to 5 years ago, right? That's who you're best capable of serving. Who you were 3 to 5 years ago. So he comes to me with his avatar. It's all line itemed. It's half of a page long. He describes who his ideal avatar is with a name, an age, all the things. And who I would imagine the ideal avatar is an entrepreneur, right? That's who he's been for the last 10 years. A W-2 employee. I'm like, this is not your ideal avatar. You have no idea. Okay, so like why? You have no idea how to speak to them. You've never been a W-2 employee in your life. How can that be your ideal avatar? So he's like, oh yeah, has an aha, rewrites his ideal avatar, and his first 3 clients were entrepreneurs, not W-2 people, because he doesn't know how to speak to them.
Yeah, that is a really great take over here. Thank you for sharing that. Now that you're working with some of the great, like, coaches and stuff like that, what are some of the daily rituals that they can do to make sure they are setting themselves for success?
So is this a tactical question or a mindset question?
Let's go with tactical first, and then we're going to go with mindset.
Tactical is you have to identify what your 20% is in anything. So what is your primary job role? So if you're starting your new coaching business and you want your coaching business and the students and members in there to fuel your other primary, let's say real estate business, your coaching business now becomes your top 20%. And so whatever you're doing in the mornings is blocked out for your top 20%, meaning you're growing your coaching business with sales.
That's awesome. Now, mindset-wise, what are some of the rituals that they can do to set themselves for success? And by the way, before we go answering that, Kyle, shout out to Kyle. Yeah, she's definitely the GOAT, Kate. What's going on?
I was like, who's he talking about?
What's up, Kyle?
Forgot we were live.
Yeah. So what are some of the daily rituals that somebody can do as a coach to make sure that they're continually growing every day on their coaching business?
Okay, so mindset-wise, favorite question to answer as always. I'm obsessed with teaching people how to identity shift. So what's identity shift mean? Your subconscious, your mind is most programmable in the mornings when you first wake up or at night. So if I can get everyone in a rhythm of time blocking time for themselves to energy shift into who they are looking to become in the mornings, that's like a win for me. Like, I don't even care if anything else happens, that's a win. So identity shifting is like specifically, who is your ideal self? Who is your higher self? What do you want? What does your day look like? And what is the energies and emotions around it? And then how can you embody them today so you can then start attracting that to you from the universal laws?
I love that. And to expand on that a little bit is like a conversation that I've had with you on multiple occasions.
Oh boy.
What are some of the revenue generating activities that those people can make, or maybe even turning that to you? What are some of your revenue generating activities that you do to get your, customers? Or what would you suggest to somebody else starting with coaching to do on a daily basis as it relates to revenue generating activities?
So I'd advise everybody has different ways to lead generate, right? So what works for me might not work for you. So I do really well at in-person events. I do really well on social media. I do really well from referrals. That might not be for you. You might do really well on podcasts. So I would say, again, like list out your clients, line item. Where did your last couple of clients come from? And like get specific on where they came from. Did they come from the networking event in Tampa that you went to? Or did they come from them coming on the podcast in the studio? And then do more of that. So the first 20% of your day, right? 9 to 11 o'clock or 9 to 12, if you can manage that, should be those income producing activities. And all of your other problems are still going to be there at noon. I promise.
Yep.
So people think that they need to wake up and like put out all these fires, but that's not true. They're still going to be there at 12 o'clock and your day is going to be successful because you time blocked your time to grow your company.
Awesome. Great take over here. So for anybody that is watching this right now, we are talking about coaching, launching and scaling a coaching business, and also how to get your first high ticket client without paid ads. So let's transition and talking about that a little bit more. What are some of the top ways or top opportunities for people out there to generate their first high ticket coaching without like spending money on ads specifically? What are some of the top 3, 4, 5 things that you would recommend to somebody to do to start generating when they first started to start generate clients without paid ads?
I will say 80% of my clients get their first student or member high ticket client from social media, meaning they posted something on social media explaining what their transformational offer is, meaning they're not talking about the tactical and how I'm going to help you. Like, I'm going to get you to build a portfolio in real estate, for example, would be a transformational offer. They're posting that on social media. They're getting people to raise their hand. They're having the sales calls with them and converting them.
Awesome. What are 2 other or 3 other things that they can utilize to generate revenue or getting their first high ticket client?
Yeah. So people that they know. So when you make your ideal avatar, when you draw out your ideal avatar, you know exactly where to go find them, right? Your brain's programmed to look and find who your ideal avatar is. And then you start to come up with a list like, Bob from that mastermind that I'm in would be perfect for this offer or whatever, and so you start to make a list and then you just call them and say, hey, I know you were interested in learning about commercial real estate. I started a program to teach people how, and I thought you'd be a good fit. Are you interested?
Great.
Easy.
Yeah.
Like, it literally couldn't be easier.
Yep. And when you're talking about that specifically, that reminds me of something that Russell Brunson kind of put on his first book, which is Dotcom Secret. He has kind of specific, he calls it the secret formula. The secret formula is first, who, second is where, third is, if I remember correctly, was, I'm butchering this, who, where,
how maybe that you reach out to them?
Hook, and then the last one, result. So the who is like finding who your perfect avatar, bait, not hook. Same thing, bait is the third one. Who is your perfect avatar? Second, where do those types of people congregate? Like find out where they congregate online, or what part of masterminds do they go to? Like wherever you can find them, where are your ideal customers are congregating? Bait is the third one, which is basically doing different things to attract them to your offer. And that can be doing the social media content, doing the funnel types of videos to kind of really attract them to you. And the bait is like hook, offer, and one more thing. But and then lastly, generating results. So when you were talking about that specifically, that kind of brought me back to like some of the things that he's teaching in his book to kind of finding who your ideal customer is. Second, finding, where do they congregate, baiting them, and then getting results for them.
I would say 100% of the time, you already know who your first client is. Like, you already know them. They're not going to be a cold client that pays you money, right? Because people hire you because they like, know, and trust you. So to your point, when you have your ideal avatar in your brain, right, the reticular activating system, RAS, teaches your brain like literally where to find them, right? Yeah. And then you can go there and you can start to give your offer.
Yeah. One other thing that we talked about too is referrals. So what are some of the things that you can do to really gain referrals from other people to help you grow your business?
Yeah, referrals. I love referrals. So how do you generate referrals?
Again, try to keep the mic right in front of you too.
Referrals are going to be from people that like, know, and trust you. Maybe they've already done business with you, or maybe they just know of you. And so like, I would refer you if I've never used you because I like, know, and trust you, right? And so like, are you making a list of those types of people? And then how are you systematically staying in touch with them? Because after like 5 people, I lose count. I'm like, who was Bob? I literally forget who Bob was. Oh yeah, he referred me, right? So like, you need to keep a list of them, of these people, and then you need to build a relationship and stay top of mind to them. So your CRM can help you with that. But a very quick trick would be every 45 days, you touch them in some manner, these people that are giving you referrals. Some people like to give out monetary exchange, right? So if you send me a client, I'll send you 10%. It depends on, I would say it depends on the type of relationship. So if I'm not best friends with you, and I know that you have my ideal avatar, maybe I would exchange a monetary referral value with you, right? So Jetro, you only ever have coaches in front of you. If you send me a client, I'll send you 10% and make sure you're paying them quickly so that you're like essentially training them.
Yeah, absolutely. And while you're talking about that too, reminds me of something that Tom Kroll says all the time. You're 40 good people. So
yes,
building that list of 40 people in your circle that you could potentially send a gift to. I don't remember exactly how many time, maybe every 8 weeks or something, that you rotate through those people. I don't remember exactly what it says about that, but the 40 good people rule are those people that you constantly staying in front by sending them a gift or doing something good for them. But those are the top 40 people that you work with for that.
Yeah. And I would say you probably have more than that. So you specifically, Jetro, could probably get to 40 within 1 hour. And I think if you kept going and thinking who would be a good referral source for you, you could easily get to 100. So I refer to this as VIP people. Who are my VIP people? And those are the people that I stay in contact with every 45 days. I'm texting them, I'm calling them and saying hi. I'm not asking for anything. I'm just like, hey, Jetro, what's up? How's the studio? Are you going to that event next week? Whatever. I'm literally just like saying hi, right? I'm building rapport, staying in communication, staying top of mind. Every 45 days is like my sweet spot. And the biggest thing I think that gets in people's way is not having that list and needing to manually think of who those people are.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about social media content. And you said that was the number one way for people to generate clients earlier. What are some of the things that they can post on social media to kind of really help them attract their ideal customers?
I should be asking you. I am not the expert in social media.
I've definitely seen the uptick with you and Benmont, and as Leon would say, in his big head. I don't know. I'm keep repeating that, and that's sticking over. But I've definitely seen the uptick on your social media and also other like Benmont, Joe's, and those types of guys posting more consistently and doing that. What are some of
we're a group that everybody just thinks of at the same time?
Yeah, you, Joe, and Benmont.
Yeah, I think it's hysterical.
Yeah,
it's really funny. Side note, I'll be like, hey, Benmont, XYZ text me or message me on private messenger this week and asked about XYZ. And he's like, that's so bizarre. I've never talked to this person. And then they also messaged me. And so we're like, do people just automatically think of both or all three of us at the same exact time and then reach out to all of us separately?
Yeah, right.
It's crazy. Anyway, your question. I really like posting social proof, meaning I'm actively doing this offer. I'm actively getting results in this offer. I'm actively have momentum. It's super exciting. People want to be a part of it. So that's the stuff I like to post. And also I go off of stats every week. We look at stats, what's performing best. So a lot of personal content for me performs best. Secondary is social proof. So we keep changing what we post every week based off of how it performs. But I would say a majority of the time, personal is performing the best and then social proof.
Yeah, 100%. And that's what Russell Brunson also called the attractive character. I can never pronounce that word. The attractive character is basically posting different types of content that personally tells your story or that can connect on an individual level with those types of people that you are attracting to you. So that's why those personal types of content that you're posting, but with a business spin, is the most converting ones that you're doing.
Yeah, see, this is why I hang out with you.
It's awesome. About, 2 or 3 months ago, you went to an event from one of our mutual friends. His name is Ryan Megan.
Oh,
And
yeah. By
fantastic.
the way, I've never been to a social media conference, and I am like a conference like guru, right? I go to all the things to continue to learn all the time so I can help. The social media event was phenomenal.
Yep. And I'm going to ask you, what was the number one thing that you've learned from that event? I'm putting you on spot right now. That was not scheduled to talk about on this talk show, but since we're talking about social media and all of that and how to generate like leads from that.
I'm definitely not a social media expert at all. And so my biggest takeaway is probably not what most people's would be, but I'll tell you anyway.
Mm-hmm.
My biggest takeaway was when he went, Ryan he has a social media agency where he teaches you essentially how to go viral. And apparently there's an art and a science behind it.
There is.
My biggest takeaway was actually when he did a live edit of a video clip, which sounds like wildly boring and like, what's the big deal? But I learned my takeaway specifically was you could have a phenomenal clip, but if you don't edit it properly, that's the difference between how it performs. And so he literally showed you live on screen how he edits it, where he watches the whole clip through. He decides where the hook is. He pulls the hook, if it's in the middle of the video, out and he puts it in the front. He takes out any dead space. So if somebody says, like I just did, dead space in thinking, he takes all of that out. And the other thing was if the clip does not have a full point to it, it's not a clip, which is like, as you hear it out loud, like, duh.
Mm-hmm.
But that was my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think that I'm glad that you shared that. And I think a lot of people will find really great value in that. And I think that's the biggest mistake that a lot of people make when they are producing their content. They just kind of record their stuff and just kind of posting it without any science or any thought behind it. And that's why, shameless plug here, but we created a list of 100 different frameworks 67 frameworks that people can utilize to create their videos. And one of the most important one is hook, story, offer. And that is also from Russell Brunson.
I was going to say, I've heard that before.
Yeah, hook, story, offer. And the hook is obviously the most important video because you have 3 seconds to really capture the attention of the person that you are creating the video for. So finding the right hook to kind of put on those videos are, that's how you bait the people to listen to the full story.
Yeah.
And then the full story can be like, the attractive character that we talked about earlier, or telling a story about like, hey, this is kind of what I was doing before, or maybe like a before and after, like showing the transformation. And then you make your offer at the end.
Yeah.
Or maybe just kind of, give them something of value that they will be willing to kind of join you in doing business with you. But that is the biggest mistake that I see people. They just film themselves doing a video and not necessarily having a good system or point behind it. To your point on that.
Yeah, I'm like, I think that I have viral content. I think we're just not editing it correctly. So, do you guys take content from clients and then edit and then give it back if they like create it on their own?
I've had that question asked to me a million times. We have done that maybe for 2 people. I guess with the right relationship and the right person, I would maybe consider doing that. But mostly what we've done here is like, people come to the studio. We have 3 product that we serve people with. Which is like filming their courses, filming their social media content like for 6 months or so, and then filming their funnel videos. But like literally on Monday, somebody reached out to me to create a speaker reel for them, which I would not have done, but like because of the relationship and the potential things that we're going to be doing together, like I decided to kind of help out and just do that. But I've had several people asking me about doing that. I'm considering like opening like something in the future, but to a point, I just do it for like people that I like and trust. But to a point, I want to focus on specific things and not like deviate from our core offer and doing that until like, we're making, $2 million a month, we're using this.
Yeah.
I'm joking with $2 million, but
yeah. Yeah. That's goes back to one of your questions. What's one of the biggest mistakes coaches tend to make? I just joined a program actually, to, learn, because that's what I do. And it's like what we do, right? It's like I went through a sales call. I went through the sales process. I paid them money. They let me into their program. And now I'm going through the process with them. There's so much that I'm like overwhelmed, and I like can keep up pretty well. And I'm like, we just as coaches sometimes over deliver because we're underconfident. Like we're not confident enough about the offer that we're giving.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like less is more. We don't need to do so much. We don't need to have 7 calls to teach you one thing a week. We don't. It's too overwhelming for the consumer. The consumer just needs baby steps, like one thing at a time, not your over delivery to make you feel better as the coach.
Absolutely. I love that. We're running a little bit out of time. I know I have like 5 more big section that I could ask you and kind of talking about today on today's show. But one thing that I wanted to chat on today is a fantastic event that you have coming up that will be hosted here at the studio. Can you talk a little bit about what that event is and who it is for?
Yeah. So the avatar is already successful entrepreneurs, and the topic is going to be, right, the purpose is to surround ourselves with like-minded people locally, right? So we have friends across the country, and that's cool. The downfall is we only get to see them like twice a year through masterminds or conferences, right? So it's important to us that we surround ourselves locally with people that we can lean on and build community with that are like-minded, successful entrepreneurs already. And for this event, we are obviously hosting it here, which is an amazing environment. So I'm super excited for people to come and see it if they haven't been here already. And the topic, we're going to have a mini mastermind that we're including everybody in the conversation with. And the general topic will be how to lead an ambitious life. So now that you have your business sort of stabilized, you've been in the business for a couple of years, now how do we get really purposeful about it? Because in the couple first years of business as an entrepreneur, it could be very rocky. So now that you sort of have that figured out and under your belt, it's like, how do you now live an ambitious life? What are the knowledge gaps that you have that we can look to close as a team together through referrals, et cetera? And network. What is the network that you need to surround yourself with in order to get you to that ambitious life? And how can we help through referrals, et cetera?
Awesome. So what are some of the types of people that are going to be in the room on that event?
Ooh, we have, should I say names or just like the type of people?
Yeah. Let's say name if you want to.
Really?
Yeah. Why not? I know we're going to have Ben Locker in the house. Like, that's a total draw to the show for sure.
Kyle's coming, actually. I always forget Kyle's local now. Kyle Potter. So a lot of coaches, a lot of mastermind facilitators. So people that run large masterminds will be here. A lot of agency owners, consultants. So by proxy, it's a lot of like coaches, agency owners, mastermind facilitators.
And you're hosting the events with Chris too. Can you talk a little bit about what Chris will be bringing to the event as well as co-host to you?
Yeah, so I'm a little reckless in my delivery. So Chris is definitely the structure behind me. Chris is a phenomenal human, real estate investor. And now I believe he's looking to gear into teaching and coaching. That's my wish for him in the last couple of years that I've known him. I think that is where his heart is. He also studied under one of the coaches that I studied under, and really like conscious aware type of entrepreneur. So he has a lot of insight to bring as well.
Awesome. I'm super excited about this event, and I know it's going to be fantastic. And the event is going to be in August 1st here at Evotion Studios. For people that are wanting to get registered or that wants to come to the event, where can they find the link, or how can they register?
They can message either of us, and if we think that they're a good fit because we want the conversation to flow with everybody, we can send them the link to register.
Fantastic. Awesome. So I wanted for us to touch on that event because it's going to be fantastic, and I cannot wait for it. And I know we already have a bunch of people registered that are fantastic people too, so can't wait for it. So what is your number one advice that you would give to somebody, a new coach that are starting their coaching business, on how they can get their first high ticket client without ads? I know this is what we're talking about, but like elevator speech.
I think if you have a really good offer, the clients or the members will come. So similar to real estate investors, right? They're like, oh, if you find a really good deal, like the money will come. I think it's very similar. I think people's biggest lack or challenge is they don't have a strong enough offer.
And what can they do to build a strong enough offer?
I need to understand the transformation in 1 to 2 sentences. And I need it to be one offer. I don't need to hear your 72 offers. Just one.
Why is it so important to focus on one thing versus doing a million gazillion things all at once?
Because people need to know who you are and what you can do for them. And they need to know how to refer you if they're not going to use you themselves. So you can't possibly get that mind share with people if you have multiple different offers, right? So if you teach private money, or if you teach the BRRRR strategy, or if you teach commercial, it's like you can teach all of that. That's fine. But you can only talk about the primary offer that brings a majority of people in. So the 80-20 rule again. So where do 80% of your clients come in through? It's always the one offer. And then you can ascend them through your value ladder once they're in your ecosystem.
Yeah. If you confuse, you lose.
Yeah.
So if you have too many different things that you are offering, and you're not going to be known for that specific things too, if you have too many different iron in the fire.
Yes, exactly.
You can focus on one thing, grow it, and you become known for that. And then you can transition to a different offer and continue doing that as well. But if you're first starting and you are focusing on a big gazillion things, first of all, you're going to have finite energy that you can focus on these things. So these things, if you're doing it too much, you're gonna be able to kind of, focus on that, providing that little resources to that one thing, and then providing that really little resources to that other thing. All of it is gonna be growing really small. But if you really focus all that energy on that specific thing, that's gonna grow faster.
80-20 rule.
Yep.
Yeah.
And taking a step further, take 80% of that 20% that you already, until you get to that one thing.
Yes, exactly. Yes. We love the one thing.
Yes, we do. Two of my favorite books are actually one of them is called The One Thing. And then the other one is called Essentialism. I don't know if you've read that one. It's fantastic. By McKeown. I can never pronounce his name, but it's laying on one of my desk over here. But yeah, so as we are wrapping this talk show today, what is the biggest advice that you've ever received from a coach or mentor, somebody not in your circle that has impacted you the most?
Oh my God, the biggest advice?
Mm-hmm.
Oy vey. That's a tough one. So business-wise is track everything. And when I say everything, I'll hone it in. Track your income-producing activities on a weekly basis, because that's going to help your business be consistent. So how many people do you need to talk to? That's going to lead to how many appointments? That's going to lead to how many closings? That's going to lead to your revenue goal. If you don't track that weekly, I guarantee, have inconsistent revenue. And then personally, probably really keeping your morning routine to yourself and priming your mind, I think, is the most important thing for an entrepreneur.
I love it. It would not be a talk show with Kate Denise if we do not talk about KPIs.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't. So what As a business coach that just got started,
Yeah.
what are some of the KPIs that they can establish to really help them continue to grow and scale their coaching business?
These KPIs, metrics that I'm going to give you, are probably what you can just change the language a little bit and use for any business. It's how many people you need to talk to that lead you to how many appointments where you are pitching your offer. How many appointments do you need to go on that lead to how many signed contracts, meaning people are paying you for your offer? And how many of those offers are leading you to your revenue goal? So if you have to meet with 10 people and you have a 20% conversion ratio, then you have to meet with 50 people. Let's say you have to talk to 50 people to net you 10 appointments. That's going to net you a 20% conversion ratio on closed clients. That's going to net you a $20,000 revenue month.
Love it.
As an example. So if you don't have your conversion ratios, like some people don't know what their conversion ratios are because they don't track. You could either A, go to Google and look at industry standard conversion ratios, or B, just start tracking. You'll be able to identify what your conversion ratios are within 3 weeks.
I love it. So now that you've been in business for 3 years, what are some of the things that you would have done differently on your first year of business?
Oh my God. My first offer was not amazing. I did not control my first offer very well. I didn't leverage my time or set it up properly where I could leverage my time. Coaching was all about leveraging time and not working so hard. So I wish I would have had a coach. Actually, I didn't have a coach when I launched that offer because someone just asked me and I just created it over the phone.
Taking imperfect action.
Yeah, literally. I just absolutely fly and build things as I go. So I would have honed in my offer differently. But you don't know what you don't know, which is why you get coaches.
Yeah. And now that kind of leads me to my next question. And I think this is a conversation that we've had multiple times as well. And obviously that's probably one of the reasons why I decided to even do some of the things that I'm doing. Why is it so important to have a coach?
I think that the only people that don't have coaches are the ones that don't believe in themselves enough to invest in themselves. I don't understand why you wouldn't have a coach. There's 100% only benefit to the entrepreneur. So why do people get coaches? Why do I get a coach? I just want to know, I already know where I want to go. I just want the quickest way to get there. If I have to pay you $10,000, $50,000 to get me there, I don't care. If I can skip a year and a half of suffering or however long, right? It could be longer than that people go and try to figure it out on their own. How much time is that wasting for you? And how many dollars in the meantime are you spending, wasting, trying to figure it out on your own? Right? So for the coaching offer, I have multiple clients that came to me after they already spent more than $20,000 plus building the background of their course and the funnels and all the things. They didn't even have a client. Who are you building it for?
Mm-hmm.
And when they came into the program, they had a client within the first 8 weeks. And they're like, oh, I'm going to actually have a client on about this. They're like, oh, what I built out over here in the course is not even relevant to what I'm actually teaching. So he wasted so much time and he wasted so much money and he didn't even have a client.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So the name of your business is Ascend. I forgot the Ascend Coaching. Mastery Coaching. I always forget Mastery. Ascend Mastery Coaching.
As long as you remember my name. I don't really care.
Yeah. Ascend. Now you're making me look bad. See, she's making me look bad, everybody.
I don't care. If you know my name, you don't need to know the company name.
I'm joking. But my question for you, what is the ascension plan looks like for a coach or somebody that is buying your services? Like what is, obviously the ascension starts like, somewhere and then they go somewhere else. What is the ascension plan for those types of people?
We only have 2 offers right now. The first offer is how to start your coaching business and get your first high ticket client in 90 days or less. Which is teaching to the beginner, right? And that's what you're supposed to do, is teach whatever offer to the beginner. The second offer is sales optimization. So,
And there's no better person to teach sales optimization other than you, Kate.
thank you. Yeah, so that's our second program. So, people that move through the first program go into it, or people that come in and already have an established coaching or consulting or agency business. Maybe they've been in the business for like 10 or 15 years, literally. They go into that sales optimization, and we go through some of those organic strategies and build out with them.
Awesome. I know you have a 3:00 call, and it's already 3:00.
Oh my gosh.
We are going to wrap up over here. What is the people that are watching this that wants to get connected with you, that wants to learn more about your offers? How can they get a hold of you?
Through Jetro.
Definitely 100%.
My name is Kate Denise on all social media, so you can send me a private message and we can set something up.
Yeah, and also her website is katedenise.com too, so you can go on there, reach out to her.
Because who can remember a company name like Ascend
like
Coaching?
Ascend
Yeah, like
Mastery Coaching. I wonder who named that, Benmont.
I didn't.
No, it's a great name, by the way. I like it. I just can't remember it, but it's great. I love the Ascension.
Yeah, I like it too, actually.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The third offer is probably going to be about mindset. Anyway, keep going.
Awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much for everybody that tuned in into the talk show today. It was so much fun talking to you, Kate, and also learning all the different things that you are helping your coaching clients to, get their first high paid ticket clients without no ads. And obviously there is an ascension plan there too. Like, after they reach, specific amount of dollars, now they can, pay ads or doing all of this stuff. But
Yeah.
it was so awesome getting to talk to you. And I know you have to head out to your meeting. So thank you, Kate. And thank you all for watching. It's fire, baby. Let's go.
Yay, thank you.
Awesome.